Hello, this is Richard C. Wilson with the Family Office Club, and today we're doing an investor mandate interview with Craig. And Craig is from, which is based in Oregon. Welcome, Craig.
Good morning.
So can you tell us a little bit about?
Yes, is a community bank. We're headquartered in Eugene. I'd say we focus on small to medium-sized business, mostly family-owned businesses throughout Oregon and Southwest Washington, but our territory probably take us throughout the Northwest.
Okay, and how often do you work with business owners, helping them secure debt or financing, or how often do you work with real estate investors on real estate debt?
So 100% of our business is business or investor type real estate. So we're not a typical consumer bank. We don't do home mortgages or say a car loan, but a lot of investor real estate. About 60% of our book of business is investor real estate throughout the region. And then the rest is really family owned businesses where we'll finance their building or, even finance AR and inventory type, like typical lines of credit or equipment financing.
Okay. And lots of people are concerned about personal guarantees on real estate. What's the threshold through which you guys might be open to not having to put a personal guarantee, or do you always need one?
I would say, well, we generally get personal guarantees because we're a relationship bank. I think one thing that sets us apart is we know all of our borrowers. We're over $700 million in assets, but have close relationships with those families, family offices, and business owners. So we typically get the guarantees, and it's typically not a concern. But however, there are a few loans in our books. If it's a high quality asset and we look at just the asset, the cash flow that the asset produces and our loan to value, we have done some transactions without personal guarantees.
Okay. And then in terms of activity during COVID, have you seen your investors and investment firms drop in terms of the amount of activity they're doing, or has there been more activity the last 3 months than these 3 months last year, or how does that look for you guys?
We have grown tremendously over the last 3 months. Through the PPP, we were able to do over 400 loans and over $100 million, and we did that in 2 weeks, basically working around the clock, 2 straight weeks with the whole team to get with our clients and make that happen. And so we're seeing a lot of people move to the bank because they know that they can reach us. All of our cell phone numbers are on our business cards, and frankly, they did reach us all hours of the day through that program. So we've seen a tremendous increase in our business. Portland is a newer office for us. We opened that in the Coin Tower about 18 months ago, and so they're really hitting their stride up there. So, but all 3 of our main offices in Bend, Eugene, and Portland are seeing significant growth right now.
Sure. Yeah. Well, congratulations on that growth. I mean, that was one of the frustrations for me, is that I've had a healthy business for 13 years. I've never had the need to go get a loan or even a line of credit with my Bank of America. And then when PPP comes up, even though I have that long history of having a nice, stable cash flowing business, they said, no, unless you've been underwritten by our debt team before, we don't care that you're a long-term client. We're not even going to take your phone call or help you at all. They didn't have a partner bank in different areas. Like, they could have passed it off to you and at least served us through a partner and had some agreement with a bank like yourself. But instead, they just kind of left us out in the cold to go and figure it out ourselves. And, business flowed to groups that were helpful, just like you, obviously. So that's great.
That's our competitive advantage, is that relationship that we have with our clients. And I would say we funded over 400 loans ourselves, but I would say we helped 400 additional clients get funding at fintechs, just like you said. We were talking to, we were able to help most of our clients, but a lot of businesses in the communities that we serve ended up like you. They reached out to a larger bank and couldn't get an answer. We did an effective job on the internet as well, promoting and discussing with interviews how we were taking care of clients, and they would end up calling us, or we'd call them because we know them, and we're able to place them with different fintechs that we had relationships with. And those are the type of clients that are moving over. So when we talk about this relationship banking, you don't need it until you really need it. And then when you really need it, it's nice to have. And so I think that not only can we talk about it now, but that's a real life example of how we were able to help people.
Yeah, and I think your exact target audience are the ones that are going to understand that most. The ones that had enough of a PPP possibility, not just $10,000, but when there's 100,000 or $500,000 on the line, it really matters that your normal bank shuts you out and someone else is being helpful. It can save jobs and, save a lot of stress within a business, et cetera. So that's a great story to tell. Is there anything else unique about Summit Bank you'd like to explain or put out there before we round out the interview?
Yeah, I'd just say we are pretty strong in investor real estate. About of the 60, half's investor and half's owner occupied. And like we say, we'll look at assets throughout the Northwest, particularly with strong borrowers. We enjoy working with family offices. We have some wonderful relationships with some family offices here in Oregon. And I think they would say that that relationship has been very important to them, not only on the lending side, but we have work a lot with Cedars, which is a 100% FDIC insurance product that we can place up to $40 million for a client. So some of the family offices have worked with us on our Cedars product so that they can maintain FDIC insurance on their funds. In a lot of those cases, preservation of capital obviously is the most important thing. And we're definitely there to help.
Right. Great. Well, awesome. Being from Oregon myself, it's great to connect with you and hear about further. So if anyone wants to learn more about your bank, I was at your website. This is your website URL, right?
That's correct.
Great. Yeah, easy to remember. Awesome. Well, thanks for your time here today, Craig. Happy to keep in touch and let you know when I'm in Oregon next and get a cup of coffee or something.
Love to. Thank you.
Yep.
Good luck.
Take care.
Bye-bye.